Joining us now to talk about the CEO of TikTok's testimony is tech expert Carmi Levy. Carmi, of course, TikTok's CEO is portraying his social media app as safe. Do you think governments around the world are overreacting, or is it a potentially dangerous platform?
There's no such thing as overreacting when it comes to a potential security threat when apps are at risk of leaking huge amounts of information from our devices and sending it to places where they could be accessed by foreign governments, China or otherwise. And so, no, this is not an overreaction. This is frankly what we need to be doing to ensure that we remain secure. And the fact that it's now a global trend, governments everywhere at all levels kind of joining in, I think is a recognition of just how serious this issue is and how seriously we must take it.
What are the major issues with TikTok?
Major issues are that it is a very aggressive harvester of data compared to, for example, Facebook or Instagram. It asks for a lot more information from your device, from your phone. And then, of course, it shares it with a company that we know is owned by a Chinese organization. And the company has promised that the data is not stored in China, that it's not accessible to its Chinese employees. But we've heard ample amounts of evidence otherwise, that they, in fact, can sign in through what they call a backdoor, and they can access users' personal data from the Chinese mainland. So, these concerns are significant, and they need to be answered concretely before we can decide as consumers and before our governments can decide on our behalf whether in fact this app can be redeemed or whether in fact further action is necessary. The problem here is that when you do business in China, you must sign a deal, an agreement with the Communist Party of China, the government, and that when the government comes calling and asks for the data that you collect in the course of your business, you must provide it. That is a precondition of doing business in China. The company that owns TikTok, ByteDance, says that it has never signed such a deal, says it's never been asked for data, says it would refuse if it were asked, but we know how business operates in China, and we know that's somewhat disingenuous. And so that really is the problem, is that the government of China can literally be standing over your shoulders, your children's shoulders, and seeing everything that they do online, and then using it for purposes that we're simply not aware of. That is an incredibly frightening turn of events. It essentially means that they've spied on us without hiring a spy, without firing a shot.
So the average everyday user should be concerned as well?
The average everyday user needs to be concerned about this. We tend to think that, oh, it's just me. I'm not that important. I'm neither rich nor famous. Why would the Chinese government be interested in me? Truth of the matter is, everybody's data has value. Everybody's data is worth something to a foreign government, to a cyber criminal, to somebody on the dark web who will happily pay top dollar for your information and then use it to pursue identity theft attacks against you, go after your financial accounts, go after your contacts. So this is the way cybersecurity and cyber insecurity work in this day and age. And unfortunately, much of it is sponsored by the four big state sponsors of cyber insecurity, including China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. So this is the landscape, the playground they play in. Data is the currency, and unfortunately, we're making it way too easy for them to access it by installing apps like this.
Thanks so much for joining us, Carmi.
Great being here, Kelly. Thank you.